Welcome back to the IBFP. Here's your host, Boxing New.
Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Welcome to the Dumb and Dumber series, where we expose the dumbest boxers for saying the dumbest things. And let's just jump right into Callum Smith's trainer. And he states that Canelo Alvarez should make Callum Smith a serious offer at 168 pounds. He basically states if they want to fight Callum Smith and to fight the number one guy, all they have to do is say, we want to fight you. Pay the money and the job is done. If you really fancy the job, they'd make an offer, a serious offer. That's from Callum Smith's trainer, saying that Canelo Alvarez, if he really wants to smoke, he needs to make Callum Smith a serious offer. You also see that Callum Smith supports this 100% in his previous comments, stating that Canelo Alvarez never wanted to fight him, because Callum Smith is well versed and on record of saying that he turned down the Canelo Alvarez fight because he felt like he wasn't getting enough money, and they felt like the offer wasn't serious, even though it was still a career high payday, still a payday that would have been more than Callum Smith has ever made in his career. He turned that down, and an opportunity at greatness by beating Canelo Alvarez. He turned that opportunity and the payday down, saying it's not enough, it wasn't a serious offer. And the funny thing is, Callum Smith turned around and originally he asked for $10 million. Now, why would you ask Canelo Alvarez for $10 million when he's literally done nothing to deserve $10 million? Callum Smith is dumber than he looks if he thinks that he's going to get $10 million from Canelo Alvarez. He's not a major star. He has no huge fan base, and he can't move the DAZN subscriber base. So why do you deserve $10 million again? It makes no sense. And in this last fight, he got a suspect in a gift decision against John Ryder. Everyone knows John Ryder was robbed in that fight. So Callum Smith, at the end of the day, you should have been more focused on a rematch with John Ryder to set that record straight. But at the same time, you were still trying to ask for $10 million from Canelo. It makes no sense. Callum Smith, you're officially garbage truck juice. Let's keep going. And then you get to Keith Thurman, otherwise known as Ponytail. Keith Thurman has came out and stated that, until Manny Pacquiao finishes his career out, I will demand that rematch with Manny Pacquiao. And why this makes no sense to me is, if you look at his history, he had a fight with Danny Garcia and Sean Porter, both close, competitive, interesting, intriguing fights, and people wanted those rematches. And Danny Garcia called for the rematches. Sean Porter called for the rematches. Both of those guys kept calling for rematches with Keith Thurman, and yet neither one of them got it. So here's the problem that I have with Keith Thurman stating that he's going to keep demanding a rematch from Manny Pacquiao. Keith Thurman has never prioritized his rematches with Danny Garcia or Sean Porter, so why should we expect Manny Pacquiao to prioritize him? Keith Thurman, you got to be dumber than you look. Let's keep it going. And then we get to Kell Brook, Special K, the special one. Kell Brook states, once I beat Terrence Crawford, he can have a rematch. Now, I can't explain how stupid this comment was. One, we all know that Kell Brook's a damaged fighter. We know he's damaged goods, and we know Terrence Crawford is probably going to beat him pillar to post if they get into a fight. We know this. But I don't call Kell Brook stupid for, thinking that he can beat Terrence Crawford. Of course not. Kell Brook, I would never disrespect somebody based on their own opinion of how good they think they are if they believe they can win a fight. I think they're stupid because we don't even know if Kell Brook can make 147 pounds. And let me break it down. Kell Brook, Dave Caldwell, who worked with Kell Brook years ago, basically stated that it was a nightmare for Kell Brook making 147 pounds. Kell Brook said himself after he moved up to 160 to fight, Triple G, he basically stated that he didn't want to go back down to 147 because it's so easy to make the weight at 160 and it was so hard to make it at 147. Kell Brook, even at the weigh-in against Gennady Golovkin, he outweighed Gennady Golovkin at 160 pounds, a weight class that he just moved up to. It makes no sense. And then you also see Kell Brook, his last 3 fights since 2018, since he's, coming off that loss to Errol Spence, his last 3 fights since 2018 have all been at 154 pounds. Rebchenka, Michael Zarafa, Mark DeLuca, all 3 of these last fights of his has been at 154 pounds. This guy has not made 147 in years. We don't even know if he can get to 147. And then he was negotiating with Amir Khan. The deal was falling apart. Why? Because his own promoter, Eddie Hearn, came out and said that Kell would like to fight at 150 pounds, but Amir Khan wants to fight at 147. So this guy was even trying to fight a welterweight, having him move up to a catchweight. It makes no sense. At the end of the day, Kell Brook, it really appears you can't even make 147 pounds. And if you do for, Terrence Crawford, it sounds like it's just going to be an excuse why you lost. Let's just be honest and unbiased. Once again, it's the IBFP.